On the rig, his word was law. Dewey had gotten his oil drilling education in Northern Europe on the rickety, death-defying derricks off the bitter, cold North Sea shelf. He ran Capitana like a U.S. Marine colonel runs a battalion during wartime, with uncompromising discipline, rapid-fire decisiveness, and absolute autonomy. Dewey's eyes told his men that he wasn't about to put up with shit from anyone. He backed up that look with a pair of massive arms, muscled from years of hard platform work, buoyed by a pair of fists that were ready and willing to be put to use in the constant challenge every gang chief on every offshore oil rig in the world faces, keeping the animals at bay. Dewey didn't tolerate weakness, imperfection, laziness, or insubordination. If you crossed him, you could expect to pay for it with your job or worse. Rumors circulated among the men about Dewey's capacity for brutality and violence. Still, the pay was extraordinary for the uneducated collection of ruffians who worked Capitana territory. The platform Dewey stood on was the central superstructure for all of the territory. The facility itself was a massive industrial city of pipes, metal, ladders, and controlled flame stacks that rose on thick steel stilts out of the dark waters of the Pacific Ocean like a centaur. In the distance, a series of more than 30 smaller, unmanned tension leg platforms dotted the landscape. These mini TLPs fed into the central Capitana facility and helped create a steady gusher of oil ready for transport to refineries throughout North America. Capitana was the central juncture in a spider-like network of pipes that lay across more than 140 square miles of seabed, some 600 feet below the ocean's surface. More than 2,000 insertion pipes spread out across the dark and cold seabed below. It was through these pipes that a crude, dense, and immensely valuable mixture of natural gas and oil bubbled up and coursed into the central pumping station beneath Capitana, where it was separated, then pushed upward to the surface. Capitana's interweaving pipes, flare booms, and steel decking looked like a monstrous erector set. The flames never ceased. Yet Dewey found something peaceful in the dense orange inferno. The flames told Dewey that his rig was performing. He walked to the marine deck and stared at the flame stacks one last time before heading inside to his office. He was tired, but wanted to look at throughput reports before they were sent off to corporate headquarters in Dallas. These monthly reports tracked the volume of oil pulsing out of the Capitana reservoir. The November throughput report for Capitana territory showed why the field was so critical. In the 30-day November cycle, Capitana had produced 54.6 million barrels of oil. This meant annual throughput of approximately 650 million barrels. The average per-barrel extraction-to-market expense was $19 for other oil companies. Dewey's men could do it for $11. An $8 per-barrel cost savings. That $8, along with oil prices averaging $55 per barrel, meant net profits of more than $7 billion from Capitana territory this year. That $8 bought Dewey a lot of leeway in the way he was allowed to run his rig. It was past midnight. Dewey watched as the confirmation ticker from the fax came through, indicating that his reports had made it to Anson headquarters in Dallas, landing on the desk of a man he'd never met, named McCormick. He reached behind him and took a book off the shelf, a thick hardcover edition of Moby Dick that he kept with him. He'd never actually read it, but he kept it with him because behind it he could hide a bottle of Jack Daniels. He unscrewed the cap and took a large gulp. In a minute or two, he thought, he would head to his adjoining cabin for the night. On the shelf below,